The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
This is John D'Agostino with D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm, and I'm proud to be a sponsor and partner of WABC Radio and Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel. God bless America.
I'm attorney Jenna D'Agostino, continuing the legacy my father, John D'Agostino, started 35 years ago.
I grew up on these New York and New Jersey streets. They shaped me. I'm attorney John D'Agostino from D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm.
Call our team first.
888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino. Law Bite Back.
In my little town, I grew up believing.
Yeah, talking about little towns. Here I am, coming to you live right now from Sderot, Israel, little town. Bullet holes everywhere. Beautiful ceremony across the street from a police station that once was. I think President Trump was on earlier this hour, and he stayed on for 28 minutes, and he was great. He joked around about everything from Oprah Winfrey to Howard Stern to Don Imus. He talked about what he always talks about, Harris and Biden, and how dangerous and stupid they are, and he's right about both. He really is. But he said I should get 100% of the Jewish vote, and he's right. I just don't get it. I just don't get Jews who don't vote for Trump. Again, the Golan Heights he recognized as part of Israel. Jerusalem, you know how many Israelis I've spoken to the last 2 days, my last trip here as well, that are so happy that he recognized Jerusalem as the capital. Now, don't give me this nonsense. You're more than a one-issue voter. Stop it. Stop it. Israel, their very existence is at stake. He's right about that. When they wrote the Torah, there were no nuclear weapons, okay? You don't like to hear it, but it's true. Their very existence is at stake. Yes, we'll be okay. We'll win. We always do. But you gotta stay somewhat realistic in this. You got to vote for Trump. These other people hate the Jewish people. They do nothing to help us. Nothing. And I'm in the middle of it right now, folks. I am right here. Walking distance from a kibbutzim riddled with bullet holes. That brings on my next guest. No one loves Israel more than this guy. And there's never been a better attorney than this guy. And Trump loves this guy, and so does Sid, my friend Alan Dershowitz. Dersh, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you're in Sderot. My cousin, Rabbi Fendel, is the chief rabbi of Sderot. He runs the yeshiva there, and he tragically had to bury a number of his congregants a year ago today. Look, it's so good that you're in Israel and you're commemorating this horrible, horrible event of a year ago. There are so many people celebrating that event today on college campuses, these Hitler Youth. And that's all they are. They're the same people that prevented Jewish students from going to universities in Germany in 1933. They're just, 80 or 90 years older. But the idea that you're there commemorating rather than joining, these useful idiots on college campuses today is so important. So I congratulate you for being there and for all the work you did. And look, let's be very clear. No president in history has done more for Israel than Donald Trump. I advised him on a number of those issues on the Golan Heights. I was there when the Jerusalem embassy opened at his invitation. And if you support Israel and believe that Israel is the right to exist, there's no question that Trump has done more to support Israel than any president. And one should be very concerned about Harris. Harris wouldn't say last night on 60 Minutes that she thought that Benjamin Netanyahu was an ally. And Tom Friedman today in the New York Times says that Israeli soldiers are not going to fight for Israel's survival. They're going to fight for the political benefit of Benjamin Netanyahu. The divisions among people over Israel has really resulted in Hamas winning. You know, the world is allowing Hamas to benefit from rapes, murders, beheadings, and that's the direction we're going in unless we reverse. And then for the President of the United States to say to Israel, don't, when Israel has the ability and the justification for destroying Iran's very dangerous nuclear arsenal, that's a terrible mistake for America, for Israel, and for justice.
You know, folks, the whole world is talking about Bitcoin. Want to know why? Maybe it's because Bitcoin rose in value over 150% last year, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is online investing that anyone can do. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org today. Take a master class. Download the Book of Bitcoin and take your investment portfolio to the next level. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org and discover all that a Bitcoin can do for you. That's bitcoinuniversity.org, bitcoinuniversity.org.
Prime Big Deal Days is coming October 8th and 9th with exclusive savings just for Prime members. Woohoo! Involuntary deal squeals can happen, like the deal on new running shoes squeal. The deal on a new blender squeal. Yeah! Or the infamous deal on a new massager squeal. Yeah! Save big on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Big Deal Days, October 8th and 9th.
Well said, Alan Dershowitz. And, you know, you're talking about Hamas, and here I am again, basically walking distance from the Gaza border. Was with the Shuva brothers earlier today. I know you know them, too. And the truth is, though, that outside of these explosions, and we've been in a bomb shelter already once today. It was scary. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a tough Brooklyn kid, but I was a bit unnerved, Alan. But outside of that, you know, they're pretty much being contained right now in Gaza, you know, down in the south. I know Sinwar has a bunch of hostages he's using as human shield, so we can't get to him just yet. But they're contained. The real issue now here is what's going on in the north. And that has become just a huge issue. This deal with Lebanon and Hezbollah is getting more violent and worse every day. Now, we're kicking their ass. We are kicking their ass, but we're losing a lot of people, too, which we don't talk much about. But will be in the north on Wednesday. It is the north that is even worse than Hamas for the current day Israelis.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And the north, Hezbollah has always been the great danger. Remember, Hezbollah declared war on Israel. Lebanon declared war on Israel on October 8th, before Israel ever fired a shot, before they tried to get Nasrallah. Let's remember what Nasrallah said before he thankfully was killed. He said he hoped that Israel ingathered all the 15 million Jews of the world into one place, Israel, so that they could be disposed of in one shot the way Hitler disposed of the Jews of Europe. So we're talking about Nasrallah trying to be Adolf Hitler and coming awfully close to succeeding in a mini way with Hamas on October 7th. We're talking about Iran, which regards the United States as the big Satan and Israel as the little Satan, wanting to destroy. You know, from the river to the sea means nothing less than no Jews in what is today Israel. Where are they going to go? They're going to, if Hamas gets its way, they're going to be victims of genocide. That's why Israel has to have the right to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities, and the United States should be encouraging that, not discouraging it. And the current administration is making a terrible mistake. And, of course, Kamala Harris doesn't say a word. She just remains silent and evades questions and won't answer anything directly. Even she won't answer the question, do you think Benjamin Netanyahu is a reliable ally? Of course he is. Yeah, he's the most important ally the United States has in the Middle East. We wouldn't have Iron Dome in America. We wouldn't have so many other technological advantages if not for Israel. Israel and the United States is a true partnership. And if you're pro-Israel, you're pro-United States. And if you're anti-Israel, you're anti-American.
Yeah, President Trump just gave Bibi a bunch of compliments on this show. And I got to tell you, hopefully I'm going to see Bibi tomorrow night. I'm not sure. I will see President Herzog on Thursday night. We've got a meeting. But either way, you know, talking to Israelis again, this is boots on the ground stuff now, Alan. I'm here, you know. Yep. And I talked to a lot of people in the media here, too. And, look, last year we got caught flat-footed and people were down on Bibi. There are still some, even in my group this morning, that are anti-Bibi because they feel like he's known about this possibility for 4 or 5 years and did nothing about it. But overwhelmingly now, the people I speak to here in Israel, they're pro-Bibi. Don't be confused by those big rallies you see on television in Tel Aviv. All the people I speak to here in the media tell me that the election was tomorrow, Bibi would win again, and it wouldn't even be all that close. So they can rally in Times Square. They can rally in Tel Aviv. God bless them all. Bibi would win again, and maybe not even close.
Well, the important thing is for the American Jewish community, the pro-Israel community, and Israelis to remain united. This is not a time for division. This is not a time for politics. I have urged Bibi, my friend of more than 50 years, not to introduce divisive legislation like on judicial reform. This is a time for all Israelis to remain united against Iran, united against Hezbollah, united against Hamas. This is not a time for families to be divided about whether or not a ceasefire should be made to get the hostages back. Everybody should be united, and every pro-Israel person, Christian, Jewish, should be supporting Israel and its elected government. Whether you would vote for Netanyahu or not is irrelevant. The point is he is the elected prime minister of a democracy, and you stand behind your elected prime minister during wartime. Abraham Lincoln was very divisive. Winston Churchill was hated during the Second World War by many Brits, but they stayed united behind him. And Bibi Netanyahu is the Winston Churchill of the Jewish people. He speaks, he weaponizes the English language and the Hebrew language and sends it to war against Israel's enemies. So I think at least at this point, until the election, once an election comes, you decide who to vote for. But while Israel is fighting a war, stay united, stand behind Israel. And whoever you vote for, make sure that vote is determined by what's best for America, what's best for Israel, what's best for world peace. And I have to tell you, what's good for Israel is good for world peace, because Israel is trying, it's been trying desperately since 1948, just to live in peace and live alone and give full and complete rights to Arab citizens of Israel. Arabs have more rights in Israel than Arabs have in any Arab country or Muslim country in the world. And this myth of, genocide, apartheid. I'm writing a new book, a pamphlet, 80-page pamphlet to be distributed, 1 million copies to every single college student in America, called the 10 Big Lies Against Israel and How to Rebut Them. I'm trying to get a copy of that to every single college student so that they have the ammunition to fight back against these Hitler Youth, these useful idiots, these terrible people who are opposing Israel on college campuses today.
God, I love that. Man, I love you, but I love that. I please get me a bunch of those too. I'll be more than happy to promote it every day on this show. Really, that is great, Alan. That's terrific. I got to run, but I wanted to make sure on this day, which of course here is similar to 9/11. The only difference is the war is still going on here. We have all the threats of terrorism back in New York and all that, and people are still dying from their efforts, but the war is still going on here on 3 different fronts. So they can't even spend time mourning because they're worried about the next rocket attack. But it was important to have you on because I love you and thank you.
Send my best to Bibi, please. Send my best to Bougie Herzog, old friends, great leaders, and may they remain united and strong.
Alan Dershowitz, I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. There he is, the great Alan Dershowitz. I'm so happy that I'm on today, too. Folks, the whole world is talking about Bitcoin. Want to know why? Maybe it's because Bitcoin rose in value over 150% last year, and this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is online investing that anyone can do. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org today. Take a master class. Download the Book of Bitcoin and take your investment portfolio to the next level. Visit bitcoinuniversity.org and discover all that a Bitcoin can do for you. That's bitcoinuniversity.org, bitcoinuniversity.org.